I want to thank everybody for coming out this morning. A beautiful day in a beautiful place. After what happened Sunday night, I didn't know if I was going to make it, General Smith. I tell people I was angry Sunday afternoon, I was heartbroken Sunday night, and then I was angry again after the vote. We've got to take our country back.
Amen.
These guys have forgotten who pays the bills and who they work for. I want to read a couple of Ronald Reagan quotes before I start. He was really a great leader.
Yes.
And he knew what he was doing, and we need more people with common sense and integrity and have the courage to stand as President Reagan did. The most terrifying words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help." It really hits home, doesn't it? Socialism only works in two places: heaven where they don't need it, and hell where they already have it. Reagan said that. It sounds a little harsh, but it's a lot of truth. And if we ever forget that we're one nation under God, then we will be one nation gone under. We need Christian leaders back in office as well.
Amen.
Our founders knew that God was the center of this country, and we need to put Him back in the center. There's something wrong when little children can sing anthems to President Obama, but we've taken prayer out of school. This is my family. This is Sarah. This is Lynn. And this is John Austin. My middle son is at a mathathon in Memphis today. He's really smart like my wife, so he's down there doing well. But this journey's worth fighting.
Amen.
I'm a businessman, a farmer. I'm not a career politician. I've already decided that when we win, not if we win, but when we win, that I'm going to serve 12 years and come back. I want to finish what I started here. I don't want to become part of the problem instead of the solution. We need representatives that are accountable for their actions. We need people that are in touch with the real world, that have skin in the game, if you will. I have skin in the game here. We're not only spending our money now, we're spending their money. And we're spending their kids' money. These guys are out of control, and if we don't get people in office that are accountable and that will listen and that know better, then our country's in serious trouble, General Smith. I want to tell you something else we've got to do. We have to protect our seniors. The promises we've made to many, many of our people, we seem to be forgetting it. We have to keep our promises we've made to our veterans. How many veterans are here today? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Freedom isn't free. You fought and you gave so much. You sacrificed. And we need to make sure that we keep the promises we've made to our veterans. So I thank you for that. I will be accountable and I will listen. I met with General Smith a couple of months back. These guys are advising me on Afghanistan, Iraq, some things about our military. And I called General Smith back. I use this a lot, General, the next day or 2 or 3 days after. And I said, General, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate talking to you and your help and your advice. And he said, well, Stephen, we were really surprised you actually listened. I will be a representative that will listen to the people. We have lost that. These guys go to Washington and think they have all the answers. And what they're supposed to do is listen to the people. I'm a farmer. I can give you farming advice all day. Some may be bad, but I can give you farming advice. If you want medical advice, you ask a doctor. If you want legal advice, you ask a lawyer. If you want advice about the military, if you want to know what's going on, then I'm going to ask people that know, like the generals. You know, we talked earlier about what's going on in Afghanistan. We need to listen to the generals on the ground. These guys know what's going on and stop playing politics with people's lives.
Yep.
We do. So I thank you for coming out. What happens across the river, my presence, we're going to be here. I want you to be as much of a part as Frog Jump, where I live, a little community in Crockett County. And like I tell people all over, I'll never put Frog Jump over Clarksville or Montgomery County. This is real to me. We met Arthur Laffer a couple of weeks ago in Nashville. He was President Reagan's chief economist. And we sat down and he kind of laughed and he said, the farmer from Frog Jump. I said, yes, sir. He said, you're serious, aren't you? I said, dead serious. This is about the future of my children and the future of this country. If we don't get people in office that are accountable and responsible and have business experience and will respect the Constitution for what it means, it's as relevant today as it was many, many years ago when our founders crafted it and signed it. And we need to get back to that. So thank you very much for coming out. If I don't do what I say I'm going to do, you can get a rope and be at my house on the weekends, because that's the kind of accountability we need. So I thank you again. We don't have anything to apologize for in this country. We're the greatest nation on earth. We just need to get some leaders back in office that have common sense and are accountable. Thank you again for having me, and we look forward to winning in August and winning in November. Thank you very much.
Stephen, can you take some questions?
Yeah, I'll be glad to.
Okay. Questions?
Yes, sir.
I want to make a statement, and Wayne, wherever Wayne, you said we need representatives who will be accountable. We need to hold representatives accountable.
I agree. You're exactly right.
People here, and we got to stop this just, well, it's politics.
No, sir. You need to be at my house, and I'm probably going to pay for that later, but you need to be at my house. I'm serious. This is so much bigger than me. This is ours. It's our money and it's our government. We need to get back with that philosophy. We've forgotten.
Yep.
What's the mood you're seeing on your 19-county tour in terms of sustaining the faith that we can continue to deal with the bad decisions we think are taking place in Washington? Are people losing courage?
General Smith, I'm going to tell you something. Monday morning we started in a foggy, rainy, in Jackson. This had fired people up. They are realizing that the only way we're going to change it is we're going to have to stand up together. What happened Sunday night should be a wake-up call that these guys are out of touch. This is only the beginning. Healthcare is just a start. It is a total taking away of our freedom. That's what this is about. But General Smith, we had 150 people in Haywood County. We've had big crowds in places. We were in Martin yesterday, had over 100 people in Martin. It's time that we stand up and people are fired up, and we need to keep the momentum to the fall, and we can win. We can put the power back to the people where it belongs. Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to thank you for coming by and letting us know what you stand for. You sound like you're full of fight for the right reasons, and I really am glad that we found somebody like you to do that. I have no questions, but it just seems like
It's for their future, because they don't know. A couple of weeks ago, I was able to take a field trip with my middle son, who's in Memphis today, to Dixon, to the Renaissance Center, and it was a science exhibit. And after it was over, we got to watch a film about the history of our country, from the signing of the Declaration, the wars, the ups and downs that we faced. And there were 75 or 80 little 5th grade students, and it was a theater, and it was dark. And General Smith, I'm a pretty tough guy, but I'm going to tell you something. I cried like a baby when I watched it, because these guys don't know. They don't know what's happening until they get older, and they're going to see it. We've got to stand up, and we've got to fight. But this is real to me. It is. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Mr. Fincher, I come from a farming family as well. Unfortunately, my family lost our farm in 2005. We've had it for over 50 years, and unfortunately we lost it in 2005. But I'm concerned with the federal government infringing on our state's rights and them telling farmers what they can and cannot produce. As you know, the founder of the Tea Party movement, Dr. Ron Paul, big fan of his. I've read every book he's read. He has advocated legalizing industrial hemp for biofuel production. How do you think this would play in West Tennessee? Because this is an example of where the federal government is telling farmers what they can and can't produce. And instead of sending money overseas when we pump our gasoline to terrorists, how about we could produce biofuel here from industrial hemp to put the money back in the hands of Gibson County and Tennessee farmers? How do you feel about that?
Well, if we've got oil here, we need to drill. We've got natural gas. We can do nuclear, biofuels, wind, solar. What is best for the people in this country? But as a farmer, I can tell you, the government needs to stay out. The more they get involved, the worse it gets. And they're involved in agriculture very heavily. Farm bill reform, yes sir, we need it. but we need what's best for the people in this country. And I mean, we have so much oil and natural gas here, it's unbelievable. And in nuclear too, we're so far behind. We need to keep the government out and let free market work like it does its best. That's what this country was founded
But every
on.
time we pump our gas, regardless of what station it goes to countries who provide a safe haven for terrorist organizations. If we could produce industrial hemp here, which Ron Paul has sponsored legislation in the U.S. House to do so, would you support that?
I will be glad to look into that. I am not aware of Ron Paul's deal with the hemp, but yeah, I would be glad. Whatever is best for the consumer, and keep the federal government out of it. I mean, we see Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Post Office. I mean, what do they touch? They don't mess up. So yeah, I would be glad to look into that. So thank you so much. Thank you again. Thanks for having me.